Hi friends, this is the Bijou Baker. I'm Maria. So now that you got that delicious buttercream, and up here is how to the link on how to make it. I also want to let you know that it will stay in an airtight container in your refrigerator for about 2 weeks. When you're getting ready to use it, bring it to room temperature, put it back in the mixer, give it a good spin, and it's nice and fresh and revived and ready to go. So now I'm going to show you what to do with the icing that you're going to make. I need you to start practicing. So this is again just for my beginning bakers, my cake decorators. So this is what's going to help you practice your skills. Now there's different size bags, and each bag has its own purpose, and there's different types. Now I've been using these nylon bags since the beginning of time, and they work great. You have to wash them really well, especially when you're using buttercream, which is a shortening based, grease based icing, because you really need it to be clean before you even put it away. And a lot of times I'll hang it on a clothesline and let it drip, and then go in and then just really make sure it's dry also. And then you've got these disposable bags, and these are really good. You're gonna let's see, there's three basic sizes that you'll be working at. This is 21 inches, and it goes from the tip to the top, and that's how it's measured. So and then you've got your 12 inches, and this is going to be good when you're working with smaller icings. Like let's say you want all the icing to be white frosting, white border, white roses, but a very pale green leaf. This is what you'll just put the green in because it's light. Your bigger bag, like the 21-inch bag, this is what you're going to use when you're going to ice your cake, and you'll want to get an icer. It's a wide, very wide tipped, wide mouth tip. And you'll put it in your bag. You'll fill up your bag with icing. I'm going to show you how to fill up your bag with one hand, and then it'll be so much easier to ice your bags with. Up here, I'll show you a video where I iced and decorated a cake in about 3 minutes or so, and you'll see that icer. You'll see the bag. You'll see all these different things, and as you progress, you're going to start pointing out, oh, she used a 22 border, a 104 shell, a 101 rose. So you'll be able to pull these numbers up, and it'll just kind of make sense to you. So another thing I want to show you is the bag that the board that you're gonna use to practice on. But I'll show that to you now. When you practice, you're gonna want something that you can wipe off, reuse that icing, because this particular icing, you're not going to really eat it, although it tastes good. This is going to be just to keep you practice. You're going to just use it over and over and over and over, and reuse it over and over and over to get your system, to get your flow, to get your patterns going. When I used to teach cake decorating, this is what I would do. I would get a board. Sorry about the glare. I would get a board, and I would write on it, and I would have lines and dots and swirlies and letters and just everything. And this is what they would do. They would practice on the lines, and it seems strange to be just doing line after line, but what you're doing is you're actually learning technique with your hand. Where to pressure, where to release, when to lift up, and I'll show you all that stuff, but there's actually a method to this madness, if you can believe that. So I don't know if I have any more to sell. Let me look in and see if there's a way to do this economically for you. But otherwise, just go down to your cake supply place or a I just went brain dead. If you don't have access to a cake supply place, use a cookie sheet. Use your countertop. Use anything flat, and you can even take a piece of paper, just a regular lined or unlined paper, write on it dots and lines and squiggles and just all sorts of patterns, circles, and then cover that with saran wrap, and then write on that, and then wipe it off when you're done. You will when I first learn how to decorate, I was newly married, and most newlyweds don't have a lot of money. I didn't even have money really for icing, but I had money for Crisco. So I'd use shortening, and I'd fill a bag full of shortening, and I would just go over and over. Then I would just put it back in the refrigerator and come back and do it again. And I would just do that over and over and over. So I'm going to show you how to fill your bag. Now you're also going to want a coupler. A coupler is this cool little trick that is going to go inside your bag. That's going to allow you, to interchange your tips. So if you want a rose or if you want a border, whatever it is, you can just put it back on and reuse the same icing bag. So when you're gonna put your tip, your coupler in on your fingers so that you can know where it's gonna go. So in the beginning, you know what? Let me use a smaller bag just for the sake of making it easier. So in the beginning, you're gonna do things so very, very basic that after a while you won't even think about. So I've got to kind of retrain my brain to go backward. So to figure out where you want the coupler to go, okay? So this is gonna go on nice and tight. And then you're gonna take, I don't know if you can see the line where I did, and then just, that's where you're gonna cut it off, give or take, okay? So now your coupler's there. I'm going to use a 3-tip. It's a very small tip, and it's really good for writing and practicing. When you write on cakes and you get better, you'll probably want a 2. I've always done 2 for writings. Now, I'm going to show you how to do this with one hand. It's really not all that magical. You know, companies have spent hundreds and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to get the right tool, the right scraper, the right utensil, everything to make it work just best for you. And God gave you 2 automatically to use every time. And so use your hands, okay? And there have been times when I've really had to scoop up, and I would scoop up the icing with my hands. Remember, because my hands are always clean and washed, I'm not worried about it. So let me see if I can put you down here. All right, so I've got the icing ready to go, and it's good. Now I'm going to use this as a grabber. So I'm putting it in there, and I'm pushing it down. I'm putting it in, and I'm pushing it down, okay? Now, you can also use your fingers to grab, but that's about it. That's about all you want, okay? Now, when it comes time to actually decorating, I'm gonna close this back up. Another thing, one more thing on the icing. When you're gonna ice your cakes, you want to add another tablespoon of milk or cream, because you really want that one really creamy, not soft. You want it really creamy so that it spreads nicely. But when it comes time to filling, you know, for decorating, you're going to want something a little firmer that's going to hold its shape. So when you're decorating, you want to really be mindful of the weight in your hand. You don't want to fit anything more than what'll fit in the palm of your hand. Like an egg. If an egg will fit here nicely, if you can fit a little bit more, that's fine. I'd rather work in small batches, save the fatigue on my wrist, and then work smarter. So you're going to fill the palm of your hand with some icing and twist it. And the reason you're twisting it is because the pressure now is going to shoot out that way rather than shooting back this way. And in time, yes, in the beginning, you're going to have icing shoot up here, and you absolutely will if you don't twist this. But there's no way icing is going to come up further here because it's twisted off. See that? Pretty tricky. So you got this. Now when you're pushing the icing out, please understand this next step is an exaggerated movement, okay? You're going to be pushing it out this way. Okay, now you're not really going to be doing this, and you can't really even see it when it's doing it, but when I'm squeezing, I don't know, can you see? This is how I'm doing it. When I squeeze it, I'm squeezing it out this way, okay? So then you have your bag, and you have complete control of it. You have so much control over it this way. If you try to feel so much and you're doing this and you have to hold the weight of your bag, you've got too much. You have too much in your bag, and control is the biggest key after practice. So then you're gonna go and just line these up, and you're gonna squeeze, let go, and lift. Squeeze, let go, and lift. And you're never going to lift while you're still squeezing, because you'll get this. Squeeze, and I'm lifting, and you're gonna get these picks. You don't want that. You absolutely don't want that. So you're just gonna follow the lines. And this is just gonna teach you control. So you're gonna squeeze, let go, and lift. Can you see that? Here, let me show you. Squeeze, let go, and lift. Sure, Maria. You see that? Same thing with writing, and practice. Practice, practice, practice. Do something like this, like I said, on a cookie sheet, on a dinner plate, on a cake board, on the lid of your shortening container. Anything that you can take later, wipe it off, and put it back in your bag. Keep doing this for quite a while, and you're gonna, when it gets to the loops, what you're doing is you're learning this. You're getting this to be habit, so that when you're icing, or your E's are just fluid. I know. I've been doing it a while, so it was easy for me. But you're gonna shake, and it's gonna wiggle, and it's gonna. This is where you want it to shake and wiggle and mess up, not on your cake. So you keep practicing this. Let it shake, let it wiggle, let it do all sorts of stuff. Scrape it off and put it back in your bowl. Again, keep it in an airtight container. If you're gonna be working on this constantly, and I really hope you do, you can leave it out. You can leave it out, and if you're gonna be gone or you're gonna put it up for a couple of days, put it in the refrigerator, bring it to room temperature, whip it up again, and it's good to go. And if it's too stiff, put it back in the mixer and add a little bit more water. Water or cream, any kind of fluid would do. Don't use soda. That won't. I wouldn't. Don't use soda. As soon as I say that, I'm going, I wonder if they would try it. All right, the next video, I'm going to show you how to make a rose, and then I'm going to show you how to practice that. Please don't think that you're going to be able to make a rose if you haven't really conquered this. So you're learning the weight of the bag, you're learning how to hold the bag, you're learning the positionings, you're learning a lot of different things with just this little assignment. I promise you, when you do this and you do it right constantly, it's going to become so basic that you're going to have to actually stop and think about it. So work on this, and then for my more advanced decorators, I'm going to show you how to do a really beautiful rose. Okay, until next time, my friends, happy baking.
Ah, that was fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe.